And I tell you, it got so bad. This is how like symbolically bad it got. Is when I walked down on stage for prejudging, I got shat on by a bird because it was outside. So I had a few other people try it, and we've been fucking around with their diets. And there's some people that don't even need a lot of protein, and they can still hold on to their muscle and they can lose fat faster. It's like, holy shit, this is totally against the fucking grain from what everybody tells. Welcome, everyone. Episode 42 of Mind Muscle Connection. It's just me and Dibs on this one. We first talk about the next couple of guests we're going to have over the next week or two and why you guys should be here to hear what they have to say. Then we go into taking breaks, why people take breaks from whether it's, a goal they have or losing weight or competing or all different types of stuff. Sometimes people want to take time off, and we go into why people take time off, if they need to take time off in order to do that, and how doing that can kind of get you on a tangent that you may not come back from. Next thing you know, you're way sidetracked from what you're really trying to do. Then, for the first time in quite a while, we go into talking about what we're doing nutrition and training wise, what Dibs is doing for his goals for the next year and what I've been discovering, working a few things with some of my clients on their diets and training. So it was a pretty good, interesting episode. There's a lot in this one and a lot of stuff you guys can get from it. So be sure, if you guys are interested, to join our free seminar coming up February 11th. Just go to nlpwarrior.com and register. It's free. Can't hurt to sit in and hear what we have to say. And be sure to like, subscribe, download if you're on Spotify, satisfy the algorithm. You help us out. And thanks for watching. What's up, guys? Welcome to My Muscle Connection, episode 41. Just me and Dibs today. So before we get into the topic, Dibs, go ahead and talk about what we got coming on next couple of weeks.
Well, we got a lot going on next couple of weeks. First I want to say, dude, our podcast has gotten like pretty fucking far. It's almost a year we've been doing this. If not a year, I think we're creeping on the year mark soon. Obviously we had some, can't make it, life happens, but to keep the momentum going. But first thing on the 11th, we have our NLP Warrior seminar. We've got a lot of people signing up already. There's still time. This is a free seminar that you guys are going to see. And the difference from, we're not like those motivation groups. This isn't everybody going to be clapping, yay for everybody. This is going to be a very raw down. Like if you're thin skinned, we don't want you. That's it. Like we want thick skinned people in there. We want tough people in there. So sign up for it, see what it's all about. Learn, get a little, we're going to kick your ass with some reality. That's what's going to happen on the first day. So sign up, nlpwarrior.com. Secondly, we got, two guest speakers back to back that we're going to be interviewing. The first one is Captain Jason Pittman. He is a United States captain, and he's the Commodore of a couple of nuclear war submarines. So his story is very unique, very different. And a lot of what we do in here on MMC is we love talking about, greatness, overcoming obstacles. And he's part of one of our other groups where we really got to know how he started at a very low level, doing something that nobody ever thought he'd make it to, where now he's in charge of people that are in charge of nuclear submarines. So it's going to be a good one, interview from him. Then the week after that, we're interviewing, I don't know if she currently is, but she was at one point the number one piano player in the world. I've listened to her. She's from Poland, Carolina Tomazuska, some weird shit like that. She's very honored to come talk to us. And she's going to tell us about how she spent like Friday nights fucking, playing the piano, the times that she's come in second, the times she's lost. And we like to really focus on those difficult hardships that most people at the highest level don't talk about, because all you ever see is them win, but you never see them in on a Friday night, playing piano for hours on end, trying to get good at it. And that's what some of the stories that we're going to hear. Got to send her a list of questions. Jed, please, if you can remind me, so we can start.
I just wrote it down. I just wrote down for all of us to look over the questions and stuff.
Yep.
So I'm interested to hear from both of those, especially the captain. I have a feeling that one's going to be really good. I don't even know who you're talking about, but I just have a gut feeling that one's going to be really good.
Yeah. I mean, the thing about this, we start off as just a couple of guys talking about working out, and now we have, captains and, fucking best piano players in the world coming on just to, get interviewed. So Thanks to everyone for your support, for watching. We get a lot of feedback from you guys. So please subscribe to our channel, like this, comment, get those algorithms going.
Yeah, anything to satisfy that algorithm. Yeah, all that stuff helps.
Yeah, we need your help. So
just for people that aren't in the military, to overcome and rise up and be able to do something great in the military. There's one part where it's very easy to shine when you get in because everybody's kind of at a shitbag level. But once you get up to this guy's point, like to overcome a lot of the politics and a lot of stuff like that, you have to fucking hustle. So it is once you get up there, it's a big deal, because you have to play the game. I learned that my second year in. You have to learn how to play the game and do it without compromising your integrity. And it's a very hard thing to do. So sorry, I mean, cut you off. What were you going to say?
No. So one thing we want to talk about something today that I saw actually this week. And it kind of pissed me off. It kind of pissed me off to another level because I see this at the highest level. Now I would say that I am almost at that highest level. All right. I got my name in the OQS. So, I'm up there now with, people chasing an Olympia level, but and I started at the very absolute bottom. I'm talking third place novice. And, now I got my name in the OQS. I got points on the board and, trying to get to the world championships. But a lot of people have seen that, gotten to the world championship. They've gotten to the Olympia. They've gotten to the highest level. They've gotten there easily. They like to do this thing where they take time off for themselves and they use that as an excuse to not train, to balance their life out, to eat shit, and basically make an excuse. And a lot of it sometimes has to do with people in relationships. I've seen a lot of the highest get into this relationship, and then all of a sudden their training, everything comes second. And Jen, have you ever noticed that? Like a lot of people at the highest level, maybe at our level too, but I know a lot of people with a lot of followers, boom, taking time off, doing shit for me or some stupid shit like that.
I've noticed that the reason I don't pursue relationships because I know it'll get in the way of what I'm doing. There's only been 3 off the top of my head where it worked because we all happen to be doing the same thing. But there'll be even at any level. I mean, here you go. Here's an example. This ain't at like the highest level, but I'll see people that'll compete and they'll say they're going to take time off before they do another competition and they never come back. And then what they do is they slowly let their everyday life get back to them. And the thing, because it hasn't been normal for the past 18, 20 weeks, but since it was normal for so many years before then, when it slowly starts creeping back in, they just let it get back in. Next thing you know, they're back to where they were before they even stepped foot in the gym. And that's what sucks. And I cringe when people are like, I'm taking some time off. I'm like, I'm never going to see this person again. Yeah. Because when the life before contest prep starts creeping in, they're going to get back to that normality. And they may work out occasionally here and there, but like, they're not going to be balls to the wall like they were. At the highest level, I think some people, I think it'll be relationships or some kind of issues that'll get to them, and they'll take time off to fix it. And I think there's some form of relief that hits them because they're not focused on all the training and the regiment and stuff, and they kind of like that small break. Mm-hmm. And they might dread coming back in, or the break hits them so hard it's like, fuck, I'm so far behind. I got to play catch up before I can get back into it. And maybe they get too scared to do that and come back,
There's this illusion that we all have, is that we all have all this time. And the reality is we don't. Number one, you don't know when you're going to die. I remember when I was training one day, I found out that the guy that played Black Panther died at 43 of colon cancer, in his prime, boom, dead. So I think once you realize that you're going to die one day and like you only have a limited amount of time to really get done what you get done. And people fought me on this for so long. people really like yelled at me because like, oh, you have your whole life. I was like, dude, is Mike Tyson ever going to come back to win a championship? No. Is Ronnie Coleman going to come back to do another Olympia? He's not. You have literally this amount of time to really reach a level of greatness. Granted, there's going to be other things to do in life. You know, the guy that invented Kentucky Fried Chicken was like 68 years old. One of the best painters, I think, and one of the best painters, she discovered painting at like 74, and she just was naturally really good at it. True. There are. That's not what we're saying, though. Is that we're saying there's certain aspects, especially in the sport, you don't have time to take off. And when you do take that time off, it's never the same coming back. Because when you come back, you're not going to come back with the same mentality. Once you take that step back, you ain't going to be able to leave. You got to keep that ball going. Now, granted, what I'm not saying is don't take rest. I'm not saying don't have play. I'm saying know when to focus on training, know when to focus on your work, know when to have fun. All right. Now, people want to call that balance. We've talked about this hundreds of fucking times on the show. It always comes back to this balance talk. People use balance as an excuse. It's an excuse to go get drunk. It's an excuse to take time off. Real true balance is when you give 100% in the gym, you follow your diet, and you say, you know what? I'm going to go to the gym tomorrow morning. I'm going to spend the day at the beach. You bring my food and rest. Because that to me is play, going to the beach. For somebody else, it could, you know, Jed, what's your play? You're
talking there's between balance and harmony. I heard it on a podcast driving to work yesterday. Okay. They were having the same exact conversation. It was Ron Partlow, Dusty Henshaw on the Thing Bodybuilding. And they were talking about how one guy doesn't like the word balance. And they brought up, well, you know, you can still train and go out and, you know, make adjustments to what you eat. Like, well, that's not balance. That's harmony. Like, you're making it work. But when people say balance, they really mean I'll do a little of this, a little of that. And that's not how it works. Like, you go in balls deep if you're trying to get there. But like, if they're like, for instance, if I'm in contest prep and a movie's out in theaters that I'm dying to see, I will eat in my car, watch the movie, eat after the movie in my car, and go back. I didn't miss shit. I didn't miss any training.
Yep.
I didn't miss any meals, and I am on track. If anything, I got to relax. Some cortisol got to lower, and I'm better off. That's not balance. That's harmony. That's different.
Yeah, and you create that, you know, and you create that by making sure, just like you said, Jed, your focus is, hey, I'm going to bring my food, eat my meal, drink a Diet Coke during the movie, come back, have my next meal right outside the car, go out. And I did that every single Sunday when I trained for the New York Pro. I would go to the beach. I would train, cryotherapy, beach, movie, go home, go to sleep. And you know what? By Monday, I was refreshed. I was ready to give 100%. The people that are like, yeah, man, I only sleep 4 hours a night. Well, motherfucker, you think that's a good idea? You really think that's a good idea? Go a week with only 4 hours of sleep a night. See how the fuck you feel.
I can make you make 2 days, then I start struggling.
Yeah. I think once in a while, hey, shit happens. You know, you can't sleep, yada, 4 hours of sleep a night. But the people that are actively like sleep when you're dead or, you know, no days off. Dude, if you took no days off, dude, like you burn yourself out. That's why.
Part of this is recovery. Part of getting results is recovery. That's where the results come in.
Right. And less longevity too. That's how you get the longevity. Except people are using the fucking excuse of, hey, I'm going to stop everything I'm doing, call it take time off, and focus on being a fat fuck for 3 months and then go back to the life. Well, you just wasted 3 fucking months. There's no reason why you can't do both. Now,
all those things you took time off to do, look back and see if you could have done them while you're in a structured off season. If you were still eating meals like, well, I missed meal. Oh, it's off season. Just grab something from here. It's not a big deal, and still continue with what you were out to do. You can do that and still, as long as you don't get too overweight. But I mean, I think people, it's like they want the whole structure to be gone for a while. I'm like, no, life is progressing in life is structure. I mean, you can't get rid of it completely. Just to throw it all out the window is like not moving anywhere. I just don't. If you're not structured, taking steps to that, you're going to have to be doing it towards something else. if you're trying to move forward constantly. That's just how it works. If anything, you want to be good at anything, you got to take it to the extreme at some point. So just completely sitting back and saying fuck everything is just wasting fucking time.
Speaking of question, Akira is not here today, everybody. If you haven't noticed, he is actually he's taking part of the protest, believe it or not. He's
is he really?
Yeah, he's in part of the protest. He's playing the national anthem, the March of 1,000 Farts, part of Canada's.
Dude, actually, I was watching a video from there. They're up there. The farmers are up there now. So now there's a bunch of tractors in the road, and they're playing like Billy Ray Cyrus and country music and square dancing in the middle of the street. I'm like, this is Canada Americaning. It's like being proud of your little cousin for doing something really cool or something.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, it's fucking awesome. And they say it's like they're partying the whole time up there in Ottawa.
Oh, dude, you got to go to Google Maps. Go to Google Maps and then type in hit the traffic button, then type in Ottawa, and you actually can see all the routes just blocked off.
Fuck.
I was like, holy shit.
It takes a lot to piss those guys off, man. It takes a lot to piss off Canada.
Yeah, but Canada does make our chicken skewers. So I know the truckers did send the shipment to Costco. The moment I saw that, I went to Costco. I was like,
I got some too.
I bought $300 worth. I put it in my freezer. I was like, I ain't going without my fucking skewers, bro.
Yeah, so, I got a deep freezer out back too, and I keep it full.
A lot of Canada bodybuilders too now, they're struggling because they don't know what the fuck's going to happen. I know a lot of people. I know about 4 people in Canada that are at the elite level now, getting ready for trying to get ready for Vancouver, pro shows in Toronto. And it's just like, well, we don't know if they're going to have it now. And now because of I don't want to blame the truckers. The truckers, I think, are doing the right thing, but how much of that is food that should be getting from point A to point B,
Yeah.
Is that gonna affect people? And I don't know. I feel like I think right now, man, the world is just like we're on this fucking downslope, and we're still trying to make everything. As athletes, we're just trying to eat, work out, watch Rocky. Man, if I can't do that, I don't know what the fuck. I'm the simplest motherfucker, but everything's becoming more difficult.
Yeah, it's they've been up there for a while, and they don't plan on leaving until there's a solution. So. It's I've been keeping track of it. I'm interested to see how it turns out. It'd be really interesting if Canada is the country that starts the dominoes falling. Now, I think it'd be cool as shit. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, these pictures are fucking crazy. I'm looking at photos now. They're just packed. All the streets are blocked. So yeah,
GoFundMe took their $9 million away that they raised.
Yeah, that's crazy. Well, the citizens are keeping them. They're bringing them. Citizens are bringing them food and stuff so that they can stay out there.
Yeah, so. I get fucking bored, man. I have to bring my Pokemon Go or some shit, man. I don't know what I do in my truck all day.
Well, they're square dancing right now, so shit. One thing. Trying to think. I see a lot of the rest stuff happen at a lower level, honestly. I can't think of any. I've seen, now there was not true. There's one Olympic athlete somewhere that took time off for mental whatever, the same shit. And it's like, you train all this time for the big thing, for the big event, and then you pull out because you got stress, anxiety, or some kind of mental health issues that just magically popped up now when it came time to do what you've been training for 4 years. Like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah, fuck, let's return to thought. God damn it. I think that is easier at a lower level because when you're lower level, no one's really watching you. So, that's where people get made or break. They're going to win championships or they're just going to fall off and, find something else to do. Like when I played golf for an hour, no one was watching me. I said, fuck this. This shit's not for me, man. I tried it. But, when you're obsessed with something, you love it. You don't want to take a rest from it. You don't want to, I don't ever want to stop bodybuilding and eating right. I love it, So how do people say that? Is there a mental thing? Well, a lot of these people don't have jobs, man. I think they build up the drama in their own fucking heads. They make this fake world of fucking social media and who they are and what everybody thinks about them, and then they just kind of just blow up. They make fucking something out of really nothing.
I think people are not conditioned enough to handle pressure anymore. People growing up now are not as tough. That's just a fact. They went from lying about their age to fight Nazis where they knew they were going to die to not being able to move out of their parents' fucking basement in the 30s. So this is the type of people we have growing up now. And when they have a gift or have talent and get up there to where they're getting pressured by sponsors and by competition and stuff, they fucking buckle. I do think that has a big part to do with it. Is they don't know how to deal with the fucking pressure because they're not tough. They're not mentally tough because they've been coddled and caressed and nurtured too much growing up. Nobody's thrown them to the fucking wolves yet.
Yeah, and we grew up with sports backgrounds. You play football. I was a wrestler my whole life. So I think playing sports, I think sports for children or kids is the best thing they can do because I think that's where you're gonna learn the most about life. I don't remember a fucking thing from high school. I took public speaking. I slept there through the rest of the courses, but I loved wrestling so much. And that's a sport where it's you and that person. Nobody else. If you lose, it's on you. If you win, it's on you. Yeah, it's a team sport, but just like bodybuilding, you're on that stage, you're on that mat all by yourself. So whatever work you put in, that's what you're going to get out of it. And, you take those attitudes growing up and even, as an adult, I still have my wrestling hoodie. I always talk about my, wrestling days because it made me who I was today. I walked to the gym the other day because my car's busted and coach saw me. He's like, why are you walking to the gym? You know what I mean? You couldn't get a ride, some pick you up. I was like, I like walking to the gym because it reminded me in high school that I used to walk to wrestling practice in the fucking cold, 1 mile all the way, no matter what, in the snow, because I loved it that much. So sometimes I like to walk to the gym, a mile away, because it reminds me of that person that was willing to do anything to be a great wrestler. Well, are you willing to walk to the gym? Have you ever been in that situation where you've had to go to some extremes just to go work out?
I think I've told this before, when I first decided to join the Navy, I was really out of shape because I've been drinking a lot and shit.
Yeah.
And the recruiter pretty much laughed at me and he was like, dude, whatever. So I had to dig back into my high school days when I dropped a bunch of weight out of high school and go back in the gym because I hadn't been. Well, the gym's 2-3 miles away. And it's, like I said, Boone, North Carolina, it's literally uphill both ways. Snow, rain, shine, whatever. I'd get up at 4:30 because it would open by 5. And I would eat and then walk there and I would train and sometimes take swimming lessons because I thought I needed for air crew. So I would do that. And if I had Lowe's Hardware was right next door. So if I had to work, I would just go there and catch a ride back. But if I didn't have to work, then I would run back. And that's how I practiced my running. So I'd run 2-3 miles back uphill because it was downhill one way. And then it was super fucking uphill the next way.
Yeah.
And, and I got the weight off in fuck, man, it was no time. It was a couple months. I went back in. They were like, fuck, let's go, dude. I didn't think I was the same person. But, I get in that rhythm. The first couple of times it's rough. It sucks. Even today when I have to get up and drive to do cardio, it's just man, fuck. But after a couple of times, it just becomes rhythm and it's no big deal. It's okay, this is what I have to do. If I skip it, it's going to fucking eat at me all day because now it's routine. So I try to make shit as routine as possible so that my autopilot is go when I get up. There's no question about it. Even now that I'm kind of in an off season, I make sure that on days I train, I get up and I walk around town for 20, 30 minutes before I eat because that keeps me in the mental rhythm of I have to go do cardio before I start my day. I'm not doing anything extreme. I'm just walking. I'm not even doing anything hard. I'll walk, go to the gas stations, talk to the ladies working in there in the morning, how they're doing, buy my shit, walk back home, about 20, 30 minutes. And that keeps me in the mindset of get up, do cardio before you eat so that when I do have to start prepping again, it's no big deal at all.
And those routines, those daily habits are what the end lead to those end results, and a lot of the people at the highest level, man, they're like Nick Walker, right? He's right now probably going to be if he keep going, he'll be definitely top 3 Olympia next few years. Already won the Arnold, and he says his life is so structured. Every day he does the same exact thing.
Yeah,
he is not giving up, not letting off on the gas, 100 miles an hour, and people don't want to do that, or they don't want to pay the price. So I actually, I'm human. I fucking had like a few weeks ago, a little downfall, like mentally, where I was like, man, this sport is so fucking expensive. And I've got, wedding coming up in 2 years. I've got maybe one more season in me before I go above competing, before I go back out to sea duty. And then I can't compete for 3 years unless I get lucky. You know what I mean? Like go to yards or something. But I've got one more, competitive season, and it's just like so expensive. So I talked to, my mentor, Tim Grover, and my down and dirty allies, which you're going to be meeting. And I told them all this, and their response was great. Response was, if you think the price of bodybuilding is expensive and the price of reaching your goals, wait till you get the price of regret. And that hit me. And that's the thing, that you think you have the fight, you're going to live forever. You're not. I'm not saying don't save money, but everybody who's trying to be the best invests everything in what they love and what they do.
Let me put more on that for you, so people that don't have the experience of competition stuff can see what this means, or what one of the things that could branch out from it. If you live the price of regret, like to where you didn't do it and you backed off because it got too risky, the people you're friends with, the person you're married to, what you have, your bank account, your possessions are all going to be affected by that.
Yep.
Because if you push and go through and become successful, all those things change. I mean, I'm talking like the type of people you're around, who you end up marrying, all that's going to get affected because you're a different type of person when you do that. Let me give you an example of like the shit I went through, because you saw me this fiasco with this last Sean Ray, right? I was looking good once again to like 1 week out, and then just shit hit the fan as always. So I sit back and reflect. I'm like, okay, what do I need to fucking do? And I tell you, it got so bad. This is how like symbolically bad it got. Is when I walked down on stage for prejudging, I got shat on by a bird because it was outside. And I was like, because I thought like, man, how many times does this have to happen? How bad does this have to get? And right when I said that, a fucking bird shit hit my shoulder. I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me, man. So I get back after I get home, I go out and eat. I come home like, okay, what do I need to do? Because is this not for me? That was one thought. Do I need to just go back to doing IT, computer work, and just fuck the whole training bodybuilding? Do I need to take a step back and try to relearn some stuff, or try to go to other people, buy some other books and research and get some more knowledge and take time off to do that? Well, okay, why do I have to take time off to do that? Like, I can still do that and still work and still train and still bodybuild. Like, why?
Yeah.
A lot of people say, I'm going to go back to my other job, or I'm going to take a step back and just try to rethink, learn, like do that while you're working, man. Like I could have easily said, I'm not going to compete anymore. I'm not going to train as many people. I'm going to do another job until I figure this shit out, or I can just figure this shit out while I'm still working. My point is, a lot of these people will take time off to go do shit when in reality they could do shit while they're still working on what they're wanting to do.
Well, yeah, it's
easy. It's a little bit harder work. And yes, you're not going to get to sit with your thumb up your ass as much as possible, but that's another sacrifice you got to fucking pay. There's so many times where I'm sitting around, I'm like, fuck, I could be doing something right now. Let me look at my list of shit I got written down. And I don't want to, because I want to take a break, but like, I can take a break later. I need to get this shit. When I go to bed tonight, that's my break. Fuck it. So I have to, that's the way you got to kind of think about it. You can't just say, well, I need to regroup or whatever, and I need to do this and this. So I need to take time off. Like if it's something you really want to do, you got to learn how to incorporate all that shit in. So I'm glad I made the decision I made, because I'm already finding out why I'm finding out why I'm having those issues when it gets close to competition time. I've actually learned a lot. So I'm already.
What do you think it was that caused you to come off?
There's, I don't have very good insulin sensitivity all the time, and it changes rapidly. So if I'm lean towards the end, it gets really good. But the minute I start eating normal, it goes to shit. There's a few things I've found that can control that, like bitter melon, sometimes berberine, but I'm a bigger fan of bitter melon. I've even noticed, so I had a few other people try it, and we've been fucking around with their diets. And there's some people that don't even need a lot of protein. and they can still hold on to their muscle and they can lose fat faster. It's like, holy shit, this is totally against the fucking grain from what everybody tells.
Right.
So I reached out to some other guys on IG that I kind of look up to, guys that I never think would answer me back. One did, and actually went on his podcast and talked about the issue and gave some really good advice. And I'm like, fuck, it was just that one little thing. So now I'm experimenting in off season. Like, what if I fuck with these variables? And do I need as much protein at this time? Can I eat this many calories, still lose body fat? And I'm tracking the calorie marks and all this stuff. And while I'm doing this, I'm already like so many months into an off season and I'm not grotesquely fat yet. Like I usually am. Like, fuck, I'm just fucking around with this shit and I'm already getting better.
Right.
Now imagine if I would have taken time off to figure this shit out, I would have so many more steps.
Yes.
So, and dude, the fucking training has been absolutely phenomenal. Like the videos I'm posting is because I'm doing shit I have never done in years. So, I mean, the changing the training format, even though sometimes I sacrifice weekends, that there's another sacrifice. Like my guys, my group, they train with me. So it's like, hey, you don't get 2 days off in a row anymore. Sometimes you get one, and we're the same group of muscles every 5 days. And sometimes it's weekends. They said, okay. And we did it, and everybody's improving. The strength's going up. They're looking better. And like, fuck. And every one of them's like, I really like this. This is a lot better.
It comes down to, learn, unlearn, relearn. That's I mean, that's me myself. Dude, I'm in the same boat. When I got done with my shows, I was like, man, I'm still coming in 8 pounds under my weight class, conditioned as fuck, but I'm fucking small. That's the thing is I don't look big on stage. I have really ripped conditioned muscles, but I'm not big. So guess what I have to do? I had to change my diet. I had to change the way I train, my training protocol, everything now. But that's ultimately how you learn. Is you gotta relearn. That's a benefit of how Mike's working.
You can't lose what you got though, because that back shot you sent me, I'm like, dude, that is crisp and detailed as fuck. You can't lose that. You can't let the 8 pounds let that go away, because that's fucking that is for people to hit that shot and have all those lines and shit show up.
But it was not there was no width.
Yeah,
that's the thing. If I could just get that to come out more, we'll be golden.
A lot of people will put on weight and they'll stop doing the things that lose that detail and fuck up. So that's why I'm saying, like, yeah, get the 8 pounds, but you keep that detail with that extra weight. Yeah, it's going to be ridiculous.
Yeah. The system. I like do a lot of Neil Hill stuff. I like Neil Hill a lot. I think his Y3T program makes sense. If I'm doing it a little bit more modified. So it's kind of, for me, it's like heavy week, giant set, superset, drop set week, heavy week, drop set, superset week. Then I'll do drop set, superset. And so then it'll be like 3 weeks of just all giant sets, then heavy week. Yeah. So kind of the periodization is now between strength and just trying to do that 3-4 sets of 10 to 12 to the next one.
I like rotating this shit a lot. I rotated rep ranges the first time I did push-pull legs. And the second go around, I'm like, because I have a group with all my clients, and every week I'll do videos updating them what we're going to do. So I'm like, this week we're not going to change rep ranges anymore. I want you guys to look. You're going to do a set of 6 to 10, then a set of 10 to 15. And every week you either do more reps or more weight. And we're going to do that for 2 or 3 weeks before we change the rep ranges. And now people have goals, because it's not, I think I said this a couple episodes ago. It's not, what new exercises are this week. It's like, okay, this is what you did last week. You got to get better. Stop focusing on the exotic part of the workout and focus on how much better you can do. And people seem to really like it a lot, because we're in the gym and we're looking at numbers and we're actually taking time. Okay, I did this last time. I need to get at least 1 or 2 more reps out of this shit, or I need to get 5 more pounds on than I got last time. And it gets competitive.
Yeah.
And now you want to fucking train, because my fault is when I can't get it, I get fucking pissed. And it's not my gym, so I have to be careful with slamming shit and stuff. But there'll be times where you'll just hear, God, fuck. And people are like, dude, what, is he getting ready to fight someone? Like, no, I fucking came 2 reps short because my fucking last meal wasn't what it's supposed to be. And now I can feel it in the fucking gym. It's fucking, I get really surprisingly nerve-wracked about that shit. Like, if I'm pushing and I feel myself die before I think I should, I get fucking mad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I use a lot of imagery work when I'm doing that time. That helps. So for me, I like to think of Pete Isip, Coach I, my wrestling coach. He was, I listen to his podcast every day, the Jersey to Vegas podcast, which I think, it's really good to listen to, so you can hear from somebody who's, survived suicide. He had a lot of, mental, but he was the toughest motherfucker I ever met in my life. Like, and I had no idea he had any of these issues until like last, I don't know, 6 months ago, that he's dealt with all this depression and stuff. But I always imagined him with that stare of like, shut the fuck up and keep going. It's that Jersey boy, because people from where I'm from New Jersey we're very stubborn, very, very stubborn people. So we don't like not being able to finish what we start. Or we don't like, 8, well, fuck you, I'm going to do 10. I think that's why Shin, Shin, the one of Mike's guys from Japan. Yeah, me and Shin always trained so great together because he would put 3 plates on. All right, fuck you, no 3 1/4. And he's got that Japanese fucking warrior in him. He's like, do a 4 plate now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He was one of the best training partners I ever had because we would train until people had blood. I think I've had one conversation with him actually because he doesn't speak great English.
Oh, his English isn't good.
Yeah, leg day, party time.
He seems like the nicest guy though.
I don't know what he does for a living, man. I'm pretty sure he's an assassin. But you remember, you remember Ninja Turtles and the fucking Foot Clan? You had the guy that worked for Shredder. Play.
Fucking Tatsu, yeah.
Master Tatsu, yeah. That's what Shin does. He runs the fucking Foot Clan.
Yeah, I like Shin. But yeah, he doesn't talk much, but he always trains his ass off. I mean, you can hear him all the way across the gym training.
Yeah. But yeah, hey, no, that goes to what we're saying is the people that you train with, your environment, man, that shit's gonna affect you too. You train with some motherfuckers that are gonna bring the intensity and like, let's fucking do it. You're gonna have a great workout every fucking time. Yeah. Coach Dave, Amanda's coach, right? We're the same age. She's 30, he's 31, I'm 30, he's 33, I'm 34. So he was a coach. He took on the coaching aspect. Great guy. So whenever I go visit him, he knows that I'm going to bring the fucking intensity. So that means he knows he's got to bring the fucking workout. So we're always in this bring it Mamba mentality shit. And that's another reason why him and I always had some great workouts together is because we both have that. And hey, I know he's going to bring it. Well, fuck you, I'm going to bring it.
When I get frustrated when people get intensity and pushing mixed up with doing dumb shit. Like if you're training in a group and you have one guy that's substantially weaker and he starts getting intense, he jumps right up under the strongest guy, and you're like, whoa, what the fuck are you doing? I'm not gonna do this for you 8 times or watch you rip your fucking shoulder out. Like, you still have to train kind of smart. So I mean, or somebody will get intense and lose their form. And so I have to, with the newer guys, I have to teach them that shit. Like, yeah, get intense stuff, but you have to control it, the controlled chaos concept, so that you're targeting the muscle and training perfectly. But if you get stuck, you got to flip that switch and find something to piss you off to keep pushing it past that point. But it doesn't mean go in there and go fucking crazy and tear something up. So that's it's hard to teach that. Yeah, it's hard to teach that balance sometimes.
But hey, this so far this off season's going great. I'm at like 216 now, 216 pounds. Yeah, I'm at 216. I competed at 178. So the weight's getting up there. It's getting heavier. It's just I think that a lot of times in life we're not worried about failure. Our biggest fear is more like time. Just that lingering. I got 1 season left to compete, and then it's back to sea duty. So I'm hoping I can work with my detailer. And, like I want to tell, and luckily my detailer is actually my old LPO. So I want to tell him like, look, man, I think I would do more for the military competing, because I'm competing at, I'm going against people from Europe and whatever. So I'm representing the United States Navy on the professional stage. And, oh, by the way, I'm doing really well. So I think that if I don't want to say I play that card, but if I make them see that, then maybe find a place for me where I can continue to do this.
Even if you're like recruiting duty or some shit.
I can't do that as sea duty, man. That's a shore duty.
Yeah.
So It'd have to be like a type 2 sea duty type shit.
If the government had their shit together more, you could probably pull it off. They'd probably want to get more people in recruiting, and they would use you as a tool, and that would give you some leverage to get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, we'll see. I don't want to worry about that till next year, though.
Yeah. They I hit 235 this morning, and I only went up one loophole on my belt, so I'm pretty happy about that. But I looked at my photos this morning. I was like, okay, Monday I'm going to cut it back and get about 10 pounds off before I go back full throttle, because I'm not going to, if I get 240, 245, I start getting too comfortable. Once I usually hit that 250 when it's like, it's too much.
Yeah.
So I want to get about 5-10 pounds off, look at myself, and then get back to going up. But, I'm doing a different concept. I'm not going to like revamp the whole diet for like a fat loss diet. I'm just going to take what I'm doing now and slowly step back until I get to where I want to be, and then put it back in and go forward. So my calories only around 4,500, and I've been all right on that. I haven't felt like I've been overdoing it.
Are you counting your calories, or are you counting your macros?
All that. I do all that. I do everything. So if something, the macros come first, but if I look at the calories, something needs to go, then I have a priority of what I would pull first. Like carbs always come first with me. I do better with protein and fats. I actually feel better. If I'm feeling like shit, I can replace the carbs with fats and I'll perk up. Because I think the insulin going up and down causes me to get irritable too much. So I just do the carbs like around the workout. So if I get up in the morning and I don't train till evening, I just go to with whole eggs. And I've noticed my mood is more stable. I'm a little groggy, but I'd rather be a little groggy and be more stable than be jacked and like fucking ready to punch a hole in the fucking wall. But I don't like feeling like that.
See, I did do that. I was doing that the first 5 weeks of training. I was keeping my carbs. I was do 100 grams pre, 75 intra, and pretty much that was it. So I was getting about 175, and I was eating fruit throughout the day just for antioxidant purposes and health. And then it was like, I had no energy. So, Mike was like, hey, you know what? Let's throw in a couple scoops of rice each meal to stabilize your blood sugars. And my strength was through the roof, because I think that I was trying to starve my insulin receptors.
Yeah.
So that way, when I took in carbs, my insulin receptors were so hungry that shit would just feed right into the muscles. Granted, that worked. That's what, in a way, that's what's working for you right now.
Yeah.
But now that I've upped my carbohydrates from 175 to 300, I'm looking way better. I'm getting way more vascular. My veins are popping, and my body's actually burning off like a fuel. So for me, it's a little different. And it's just like, it's just interesting on how every single body is different, and you have to work with that.
I think it goes in steps. When I do the lower carb, like I'm around 200 carbs, my fats are fucking like 170, 180. I noticed that after a week or two, I got to cut back and do a day of high carbs just to refill everything. And then, so I'll pull all the fats and throw a shitload of carbs in, and then go back to what I was doing for a couple of days. And that seems to do pretty well. Because you also got to think your thyroid slows down when your carbs are low for a while. So you got to make sure that shit speeds up too. Mm-hmm. So you have to do that. And plus, the carbs around the workout is good, but if your cortisol still gets high, you want the insulin release to lower and reset and repair all that. So you need that through a high carb day with no fat so that insulin gets released. So I'll do that when I can tell when I need it, because I'll look flat. I won't be tight all the time, and I'll just feel like shit. But if I do carbs all the time, like it just after a few days, I start getting to where after I eat, I'm just fucking irritable. And I do have to have a lot of fats, and I feel a lot better doing it that way. But I've got some guys right now, they'll get their metabolism will slow down, and they don't necessarily need the carbs. I'll throw a couple tablespoons of fats in there. It'll work for 2 weeks, and then it'll stop working. I got to take it back out.
Huh.
So some stuff in there is only temporary. You do need to fill the intramuscular fat storage. You need to repair the muscle cells, which are made of fat. But
absolutely, yeah.
After all that's done, you may not need it anymore. You may need to go back down for a little bit. So you can't, some people can get on one plan and go for a few weeks. Some people, it's like constant fucking switching shit every damn couple of weeks.
Yeah.
You have to know what to look for.
Coach Dave does that a lot. Dynamic fitness coach. He every 3 weeks he'll reassess, change the diet, add this in for 3 weeks or something else. And it's cool to see his system. I actually would like to get him on here one day just so we can talk about how.
Yeah. I love picking brains, dude.
To pick his brain a bit. What's funny, like what really was a really happy day for me. Like I look at Mike as my Mr. Miyagi. You know what I mean? That's why I know bullshit. I cried during the Karate Kid. You put the Karate Kid on, I cried because that's like me. That's the relationship I have with Mike. But with Dave, our relationship is like Rocky 3 when Apollo went to go help Rocky. You know what I mean? And that's kind of like how it is. He's an IFBB pro, same age. He came when I was by myself. I was still texting Mike every day, but I didn't have it. He came in, was like, "Hey man, I know you're with, I respect your coach 100%, but I think I can help you." And, we've had like this, he has a whole different system. So we had like this Rocky 3, moment where, you got this Kawasaki guy, now moving in with Dynamic Fitness. So we're just kind of working together. Well, Mike's guy won the overall and the physique and at the North Americans, I think it was. All right. He won the overall. And then Dave's guy won the overall in bodybuilding. I'm like, dude, these guys had dozens of competitors, right? And both people that I'm extremely close with, both of their guys won the overall. So that's how I knew, I'm really associated around the right people is when, both that people in there, both those guys win. That's how you're around fucking great knowledge.
I've had instances where I've thought I've been around the right people because I didn't trust my gut or I listened to what everybody else says about them. There have been times where I'll meet someone that everybody loves and I'm like, I don't know. And then like a year later, come to find out I'm right because this guy does something fucked up. And everybody's like, "Oh, I never saw it happening." I'm like, "How did you not see this? This guy's a piece of shit."
Yeah.
It's just like the whole, like you said, trusting your gut thing. When it comes to people, I have to do that. It's, I've seen that backfire because I give everybody the benefit of the doubt. And then I get around these people that are just bad fucking influences. When I was younger, I was really bad for that shit. But now with the lifestyle and the regimen that I'm in, those people usually don't even get close to me because our lifestyles don't complement. So it just doesn't work. So
yeah. Like we had that conversation last week, man. I'm not afraid to cut somebody out right away.
Yeah.
And it sucks sometimes. It'll come back, maybe bite you. They'll talk shit about you and, "Oh, he cut me off" and stuff, but whatever. I got my life to live. I don't have time. And, not a lot of massively successful people have a lot of friends like Elon Musk. I don't think this guy's got a lot of best friends. I never see Bill Gates at a Super Bowl. You know what I mean? Them motherfuckers are grinding. We may not people don't like them too much, but believe it or not, they don't have balance. Those motherfuckers are working 15 hours a day. I think Elon Musk sleeps like 6 hours a day. So that's I think that's the minimum that you need to function is 6 hours. I think Arnold said that 6 hours a night.
Yeah. I've had people say, "Well, I need 12 hours." Like, no, you fucking don't. You're used to 12 hours.
Of sleep?
Yeah. If you get like 6, 7, after a few nights, your body adjusts to that and you're good. Now, under 6, you're kind of pushing it, but 6 is usually good. 6, 7 is good. When people say, "Oh, I need 10 hours," first off, before you came to me, you were sitting on the couch not doing jack shit. So you really don't need any fucking sleep because you're not repairing jack shit. So that's not the case. So, now you're in an environment where you actually are creating a reason to sleep. And I'm still telling you 12 hours is ridiculous.
Yeah, I think I found 7 to be the sweet spot. There's days where I had 6. There's days, you know what? When you're sleeping 7, 8 hours a night and you're getting a good night's sleep, and that day you can only get 4 hours because that shit happens in life. You know what I mean? Emergencies happen. You respond pretty well to it because your body says, "Hey, you know what? I can carry on." But it's when you're under that 6 hours every single night. 12 hours, man. I did that shit on deployment. That's how I got through deployment, man. I go as soon as watch was over, right to my rack. Boom. Just jump right in that motherfucker.
I actually seen I've seen different studies where some people say it takes days of good sleep to make up for losing 1 hour, which I think is bullshit. But I saw someone where it said you only need 1 night of full sleep to recover from losing sleep from another night. I can't remember where I found it from, but I've seen studies that contradict each other. Like if you were up for like a couple of days, I can understand sleeping 1 night for 12 hours just to recover. But like other than that, I think as long as you get about 6, 7, you're good. It's not hard to weed out that much time to sleep, even if some of it's in naps. But
I have sleep anxiety. This happened. This is, unfortunately, I got that from the military, where if I could be working, get a phone call, "Hey, by the way, you got watched at midnight," and it's like 7:00 at night. So it's like, that's 5 hours from now. So I should have to run and force myself to sleep. So what would happen is that now if I don't go to sleep at let's say I have to do this, we do MMC at 8 and I'm not in bed by 12 to get 7 hours. I will be up all night trying to force myself to sleep. It's a really bad, I call it sleep anxiety. I don't know what it is, but it's like, oh fuck, I'm not getting 7 hours. All right, let's hurry up and sleep. Ready, 1, 2, 3, sleep.
Yeah.
Sleep, and I'll do this for hours on end.
Yeah. I've been pretty good lately. When I got out of the military and I slept regular schedule, I immediately dropped 10 pounds just because I was on a normal schedule. I changed nothing but sleep normal and be up during the day and got off the night shift. I dropped 10 pounds.
Dude, that place where you were, their fucking sleep schedule was horrible. Horrible.
And they did not give a fuck about making it better.
No, they did not. I got there and I was like 2 days on, 2 days on, a day off. Then you had to go in the next night for 2 nights. Then you had 3 days off. So every week you're working 2 nights. I'm like, who thought that was a good idea? Like, who actually thought in their mind, hey, this is a good schedule? That's fucking insane.
Dude, we had a guy, I think he became LDO, but he was a chief when I was there, Chief Land. He came up with a way of starting with nights on the same schedule so that you're not fucking everything up. He's like, if you start with the night shifts and then go 48, then 2 days into 72, the sleep pattern's a lot better. He's like, so nothing changes except you just swap when you do the nights and the days. And they still wouldn't. Instead, they went to an 8-hour shift with double backs to where you would work like 9 days and get like 4 off after 9 to 2. It was ridiculous. It felt like getting out of school for summer when you got your 4 days off. But there'd be some days you'd work 2 shifts in 1 day. They did that for like a month and they're like, fuck this, we can't do this. Because people were just dropping. It wasn't working. But all they had to do was flip those 2 shifts and everything would have worked smoothly. He had the studies and everything on it and they wouldn't even entertain it.
Yeah, it's that place is not. That place is not designed to succeed, man. I've seen. I'm not talking shit. I'm just talking real, man. I've seen people go in there and just straight from a ship go there and just burn. I had one guy. He left there with a P on his eval. Right. He got a P his whole time there. Went back to a ship, and he said it went back to a ship. Yeah, and ended up leaving with 3 EPs. Like that's just because the environment there is just.
He didn't play the game.
I think the environment is just meant for you to fucking fail.
Yeah, you have to play the game there. It's shitty. I mean, Urban Dictionary literally says that's where ITs go to die.
That's what Nick Tam says.
If you look it up, Urban Dictionary, it's funny as shit definition is. Read it. Go look it up.
I like to say it's like going to jail. So I was there. It was my first command in Hawaii. It was Nick Tam's. So I say going to Nick Tam's is like going to jail because when all you want to do is get out, but once you're out, people find out you're like, yo, where you been? I've been to Nick Tam's. They don't fuck with you. Like, oh, this motherfucker. This guy's been to Nick Tam's. We can't ruin his day, bro. Yeah.
And you want to re-enlist? The fuck's wrong with you?
Nothing.
I've had guys come back from IA duty and they're like, can I go back to Iraq, man? Fuck this place. Literally, guys have said that as soon as they come back from Iraq, they're like, I want to go back because they didn't like it there. And I've heard it's still like that today. I ran into somebody I used to work with there, and they heard through the grapevine that like not much has changed.
No, they try to change it, but they keep. I hope the guy never have to go back there. I mean, I've got 1 tour left. But we're planning on staying here in Hawaii or going to Tampa because I don't know if I want to. I don't. Only way I'm going to stay in Hawaii is if like I'm willing to go to a ship if I stay in Hawaii. Yeah, I'll bite the bullet for a ship. But if not, then I'm going to have to go to a. I'll do like Spec War or something. Green Side. I cannot do another fucking ship.
There's some Spec War stuff out there you can do out in California and shit. I know.
Yeah, $6 a gallon in gas. Sure. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's how much it is over there. I ain't going back to Cali. But all right, man, I got to go wake up the blonde beast.
Yeah, I'm going to go check out pool day today. I'm going to go do that right now.
All right, man. I will. We'll talk to you next week. Right. And we got those 2 special guests coming on. So I'm really looking forward to those.
Yeah, guys, go to nlpwarrior.com, sign up for the seminar. It will be it'll be this coming Friday.
Yes.
At 8 p.m. 3
Eastern.
p.m. Hawaii time. Yeah. It's all right. Dibs, take it easy. I'll see you next week.